Hello guys, I'm back with another video. This time I want to start off by actually fixing up a few loose ends that I left from last time in regards to enemies. And the first thing is the animations. So if I zoom in, close that, you can see there's these faint lines on the edges of the sprites that keep showing up whenever it animates. And this is a cause of the actual sprite itself, the sprite sheet. So if I zoom in, as you look closely, you can see that within each cell, there's no space from where one cell starts and another one ends. And so when it renders, it gets a little sliver of the next one over. And so to fix this, what I did was I just wrote my own program that I can put in like an enemy sprite or a sprite sheet, and then I just type in this function called set9,5, where 9 and 5 is the width and height of the image. And if I do that, it'll create a new file that's the same name but with fixed in front of it. So now what I can do is I can close that, and I can use this sprite instead. And then I just have to set everything to use it. So set this to fixed and set the enemy to use fixed. And then it should be done. That's everything I need to do. When I have to do this with all the enemies though, it will be a little tedious. But as you can see, now there is no lines on the edges that is stopping it from doing anything. Or that is causing it to break. Now, if you see right there, the enemies just got caught on each other. It's not a glitch, it's just me clicking too fast, causing them to get stuck in each other. I haven't really had that happen too much, just as long as I don't click too fast. But that shouldn't be a problem, really. But other than that, now I need to get enemies to work on server side instead of just client side like they are now. Because right now, if I were to have another person on with me, the enemies, I'm not 100% sure what will happen, but I'm pretty sure the enemies will end up following one of us on one screen and the other guy on the other screen, and so it'll be messed up. But once I get more into that, hopefully I can find a fix for it, and then I will show you what the results are. Till then, see ya. Okay, as I suspected, it only works on one side or the other, so if there's enemies on one client, there isn't enemies on the other, and that's due to the fact that the way I go about generating enemies is by clicking on one side or the other, but when I do that, it isn't created on the other side. And so the way I'm going to have to fix this is the same way I go about generating maps, and that's that it's going to have to be done to the server side through a template. And so I already knew this was going to have to happen, but now I'm going to have to create a generator, a map maker, so that I can make custom maps and decide where the enemies will be spawned at, and then have the server side deal with every single enemy. So I'll do that now. Okay guys, I'm back, and it has been a long time since I've recorded, but for good reason. Here I have the map maker, which I can easily just click and drag to create or remove walls, or I can come over here and create enemies, and then I can save it and export it as a JavaScript object and then have it as a map. So here I have a map that was created, and along with that I also had to do a lot of rework on the server side code. So I had to take the whole server and remake it, and I'll show you that. So here on the right is what the server used to be, and it was a lot of spaghetti code and a mess to deal with. But on the left, I split everything up into different files that I can have the server organized into to make it a lot cleaner. And it was a lot of work to redo that. And it was well worth it, because now if I log in, so both players are being updated, but if I move from one one player, it gets updated for both sides. And along with that, the same will go here, and the enemies will just move to whoever's closest. And this is all being done through the server side instead of the client side, and it updates every half a second. And I'm hoping that won't create lag, but it seems to be doing fine now. If I need to, I can up how frequently it updates, because right now it kind of seems like it's updating slow, half a second, but it's actually not too bad. And the only reason I'm getting any lag now is still because of the recording. And sometimes it does that because for a moment he was closer than he was. So now I'm going to start dealing with being able to make it so I can attack enemies and make it so that they can attack me. And that will require some making a GUI for the first time, so who knows how long that'll take. Okay guys, I'm back with a quick update because I got health bars working finally, and I've also been doing research on vectors because now with the vectors I'm able to create a hitbox whenever I swing the sword, which I can now use to attack enemies with. And I'm going to eventually be able to make it so that the health updates through the server so that each player can see the health update. But the reason I have this player on right now is because while testing this with my friend, I noticed a glitch where they move a lot faster than I do, which has to do with lag. So apparently the faster your computer runs, the faster your player runs, which isn't how that should work. So I have the timing wrong when it comes to how the system updates each frame. And so I'm just going to have to go back into that and fix how it updates so that this doesn't happen, so that it's fair for everybody. So that's what I'll be doing next, and then I should be working more on the health system. Okay guys, I'm back. Apparently updating the frames was a lot easier than I had thought, so I didn't bother showing you. But what I did get done was getting health system to work on the server side instead of just the client side. So if I come here and I kill all these enemies and I log in on this side, you'll see that they're not there for either of them. So it's getting updated for each player. And likewise, if I kill him on the right side, on the left side, he also dies. So now health is being updated for both people. However, I can't attack the player yet, which eventually I will make it so that you can attack each other. But the next thing I'm going to be working on is probably going to be experience, so that enemies will drop experience based on who kills it, and then having a level up system. But that's going to wait until next time, because now I need to get this video out because it has been far too long since I've updated. So until next time, see ya.